Life path number 6. As a child and young adult, responsibility was always there on your 6 life path, but you may have rebelled against it, feeling overwhelmed by family or domestic duties which you were too young to handle or take seriously. This changed as you got older, and those who knew you in your youth may now be amazed at your transformation into such a responsible adult. Remembering your own childhood circumstances will help you understand today's young people, which is very important if you have children of your own. If not, you will find that many of the adults in your life are in some way your children. You will learn a lot about parenting in this lifetime. But you are also here to create, to learn that creativity has many forms, and that it is not confined only to the creating of a biological family. Creativity comes from the outward expression of what you are feeling inside, and, through your connection to family, many creative lessons will be learned. Your parents, and the circumstances in which you were raised, are likely to have a major effect on you. There may be hard lessons to learn here. Perhaps you blame a parent or sibling disproportionately or feel accountable to them well into your adulthood, and even after they have passed away. You cannot stand to have your loyalty questioned, and it can be difficult to distinguish genuine love from guilt and blame. The 6 life path teaches you that you are primarily accountable to yourself, that family members and relatives do not own each other, and that love thrives when it is able to flow freely in all directions. You are walking a path of responsibility, but you are not responsible for everyone and everything you encounter, including family members. Family relations are important to you, as is relativity itself. Each step you take is directly related to the last one you took and to the next one you will take. One of the main lessons of 6 is that of balance. You are walking a path which is divided into 3 lanes. The middle lane contains the energies of love, peace, belonging and caring, and provides you with impressive abilities to teach, heal, create, nurture, entertain, and solve problems. On either side are life's extremes: unresolved misunderstanding, hatred, control, greed, conflict, cruelty, and dependency. Some 6 people were born between 2 extremes in that the personalities or circumstances of the parents or families were opposite. You will venture into the extremes from time to time, but you will not be happy there and will yearn to return to the stability of 6's center path. Focus on love, peace, healing, and understanding. These are the elements that will make your 6 journey outwardly and inwardly successful. Of course, anyone can walk a 3-lane path and stay centered if that is all they have to think about. But yours is a more arduous test. As your life proceeds, you will amass responsibilities and circumstances which have to be identified, sorted, adjusted, and juggled, so that you can maintain your balance. Many of your duties will be pleasant. Some will not. Much of the weight you find yourself carrying may turn out to be the responsibilities of others that have somehow landed in your lap. You are responsible for your own life and those situations and people you have created. When you are free of responsibilities that are not yours, your capacity to give and receive love expands significantly. The 6 life path gives you the power of magnetism. You will attract whatever you focus on more easily than most others, which has obvious drawbacks. Focus on danger, and you'll end up in dangerous situations. Focus on nickels and dimes, and that's all you'll have. Focus on others' shortcomings and you'll be surrounded by negative behavior. Look for problems and you will attract them. Try to focus on the good in others and replace old judgments with new and more realistic understandings. Allow others to live their lives without your constant input or criticism. You are one of life's natural entertainers. People are attracted to your exciting aura. There you are, walking through life on a high wire, perfectly balanced and at ease. Of course you have a variety of safety nets securely in place. After all, you are responsible for yourself. This is why you are usually able to bounce right back any time you fall. Others will help you regain your footing because they love to watch your clever act. What a show you can put on when you are balanced. What a brilliant display of inner beauty you exude when you are judging your own steps instead of someone else's. What a positive example you set when you are doing what you love in a state of balance. You are a superstar. A natural entertainer, artist, and host. Your personal world, perhaps the whole world, is your stage. Just remember that balance does not mean uniformity or stagnation. It means arranging things in a way that enables energy to move freely. Balance is constant adjustment. On the sixth path, you must develop a clear idea of what you desire from life, otherwise you will find yourself accumulating unwanted responsibilities just because you were standing there with nothing else to do. While you have unfulfilled dreams of your own, your need to volunteer must be curbed unless, of course, it is your dream to volunteer. You are a natural teacher who can show others how to take care of their own needs, to be responsible for themselves, and that life does not punish but produces consequences for one's judgments and actions. Just as you cannot remain balanced on this path while you are struggling with other people's burdens, you can also trip up if you become too judgmental, arrogant, or greedy. A tendency to look for faults and problems can cause you to neglect your own basic needs, or to interfere in other people's lives in the belief that you can somehow save them. It is a humbling experience when a 6 is told to butt out of someone else's business. This will happen at least once in your lifetime. Others resent a know-it-all and judgmental attitude. But you will not get lost in this extreme for long. You need the stability of loving relationships. You pride yourself on giving sound advice, and you can be hurt when your input is ignored or belittled. You quickly learn the arts of listening, diplomacy, and right timing. You really want to understand things. You know that it is impossible to understand something that you have not experienced. This applies to your relationships too. You can live a lifetime with someone and not know them because a barrier exists which prevents you from feeling who they really are. Or, you can meet a stranger and know this person immediately. The quality of your relationships is determined by the extent to which you let go of judgment and open yourself to the one-on-one experience of the individual involved. Which brings us back to family. To understand is to familiarize. Familiarization within your own family is where this lesson begins. Life will teach you that rules, staunchly upheld traditions, and the inability to accept that everyone changes as their lives unfold, holds back the process of familiarization. And, as you now familiarize yourself with your 6 life path, you will start to realize just how much you desire to be familiar with so many different aspects of life. You came into this life to understand and teach. You possess a responsible approach and have impressive problem-solving skills. You may not always welcome those who look to you for solutions, but, because your nature is parental, you usually oblige them graciously as part of the flock you must guide. However, when you treat them not as the children they appear to be, but as respected equals with whom love and pleasure is shared, or from whom you may have something to learn, deep relationships are formed. Equality is another form of balance. You are learning about the influence that individuals have on each other, and you will form many relationships. Each will affect the other, and this is where your balancing skills are tested. Loyalty is one of your great attributes, until you must choose between close alliances. You will learn that your relationships are yours and that not everyone in your circle is going to get along. Your magnetism, charisma, is what draws people to you in the first place, and it is developed by exuding outwardly the desire for peace that you feel inwardly. This desire creates an energy that tells others that peace is your objective, and they cannot help but respect you for this. When used correctly, the power of magnetism has a calming effect which encourages peace in others too. When you are genuinely in this balanced, peaceful, and non-judgmental place, you are able to spread peace and create an atmosphere of purpose and mutual respect. This is why you are thought of as the stable one, the advisor, the problem solver, the leader, and the peacemaker. It is why you are able to command the respect of others even though they may not be able to pinpoint why they respect you so much. When your friends become your family, they will want to help and protect you at all times. There may be times when others turn against you, or even hate you, times when your inflated ego wants to control everything, or when you are being judgmental instead of using good judgment. At these times, SIXs are regarded as control freaks and tyrants who are opinionated, aggressive, irresponsible, interfering, bossy, and prejudiced. Others become disappointed or even afraid of you when you lose sight of your own loving nature. You will also encounter difficulties in relationships if you preach peace and love while holding in, denying, your true feelings. When 6s lose their balance, they are, indeed, imbalanced individuals. Be honest with yourself as to what you are feeling. You may believe that it is impossible to love if you are feeling hate. But the truth is that you cannot love genuinely if you do not express outwardly any hatred you may be holding inside. It is impossible to remain balanced while carrying the weight of unexpressed feelings. You desire stability and approval. You need to feel a sense of belonging and acceptance within your home, family, and community. You like clearly defined rules and traditions which embrace security and enable you to play a parental role. But do not expect others to play by your rules, those are your safety nets. Many SIXs do not believe they are governed by tradition, conservatism, or rules until they realize just how much they are motivated by a sense of duty and a need to do the right thing. You may not be traditional in the broad sense of the word, but within your family and circle of friends, there are many traditions you do not wish to change. On the 6 life path, your home is your castle. You are responsible for it and for those who live in it. You are the ruler, chief caregiver, problem solver, healer, educator, and provider. You expect total cooperation and cannot understand why others don't appreciate that what you do is for them. But this causes guilt and resentment for all concerned when you are not doing what you need to do for yourself. Those on the 6 life path are often involved in situations where justice is questioned and analyzed, or where laws are staunchly upheld or defiantly broken. Be careful not to develop extreme approaches when it comes to justice and judgment, rules and regulations, right and wrong. It is here that many SIXs meet their downfall. In order to remain balanced, you will have to take a center position and assess the relativity of all factors. You know only too well that no law can be absolute and that real justice takes place on a much higher plane. When you enforce your rules on others, you lose your balance because you become dependent on their cooperation. Then, when you realize how unstable this makes you, the fear of losing control produces dictatorial behavior, or you can become pessimistic and timid. Either way, this creates an emotional paralysis which prevents you from progressing. It also causes you to seek the advice of so-called experts who may be less informed than you. You are here to learn about and exemplify balance. Home, family, and community have much to do with your aspirations. It is from these experiences that you will recognize that the world is also your home and that everyone on earth is your family. It is only in balance that humanity's love can flow freely. You were born with judgmental tendencies to learn how inaccurate judgment can be. You were born to experience control over others to learn of its futility. You were born to take on responsibility to learn about freedom and that it is not freedom from responsibility that you desire, but the freedom to take care of your responsibilities with ease. You were born with the gift of magnetism to attract others to your entertaining example. You were born to understand the creative process and teach those understandings to others. You were born to make peace so that life can continue. Oh, what a spectacular mission yours is. The 6 life path can be a confusing walk at times, a path of changing realities, duties, and loyalties. But it can also be a journey of beauty and love if your intent is to protect and beautify life. Intent is an awesome power. It is the fuel that drives you through life, and the gauge that sets your direction. No matter how many wars or misunderstandings you encounter, or even partake in, if your firm intent is for peace and understanding, the necessary lessons will be learned and the 6 life path will take you where you want to go.